So if you're having a bad game as a pro footballer, it might be easier just to blame it on the football boots or maybe even the kit you're wearing. Well, today I've been buying all the products that footballers have complained about, from suing companies millions of pounds over a pair of football boots to footballs that have been banned from the entire league. Today I'm going to try and get to the bottom of these claims and see if any of them are actually true. So the first product that I'm going to be looking at is a football boot from 2016 called the New Balance Visaro. Now they may look pretty normal, but Marouane Fellaini tried to sue New Balance £2 million over these boots. Okay, so let's put these on feet. They're a brand new pair, unworn, so I should get all the negatives of an uncomfortable fit. I'm not gonna lie, they are not comfortable at all. To be fair, so far, he has got a point. I don't know how to explain this, but they don't feel right. So far, I can see his point. But let's test these out for a little bit, play some football in them, see if my feet are hurting after that. Fellaini claimed that the boots were that poor quality that the Man United kitman had to stretch and steam them before he could wear them. He also claimed that the so-called defective boots were affecting his performance and causing considerable damage to his feet. At first they were really uncomfortable, but they're actually feeling quite decent now. I'm breaking them in. After Fellaini's initial complaints, he was provided with a bespoke replacement pair of Visaros that he seemed to be happy with, but he later breached his contract when he played a game without the New Balance logo on his boots, which he claimed was down to the poor build quality. But ultimately, Fellaini's bid was unsuccessful and he now wears Nike Tiempos. I do actually really like these boots for shooting. They feel good. Right, so when I first put on these boots, I was thinking, you know what, Fellaini's got a point here. They're not great at all. They don't feel good, but you know what, after using them for half an hour, 45 minutes, they feel really good. And that's just straight out of the box, no braking process. They don't feel uncomfortable at all, so I know everyone's feet are different, but £2 million, surely not. So despite Fellaini's claims being dropped, less than a year later, New Balance did upgrade their Visaro to this. This next product is complained about by the Manchester United team. In 1996, Man United were playing Southampton and by half-time, they were 3-0 down. The reason? Well, apparently, this kit's to blame. This game is now the stuff of legend in football folklore, and at half-time, this kit was ditched and they came back out for the second half in a blue and white shirt. They didn't go on to win the game, but they did pull a goal back in the second half, making the final score 3-1. The complaints about this kit were all about vision. They said they couldn't see players from long distances and it blended in with the crowd in the background. Gary Neville, who was playing for Man United at the time, said that Sir Alex Ferguson employed a vision specialist who advised against this grey kit, so there may be some truth in this. So there's nothing I can really do to test the theory, so I'll let you guys be the judge of this one. But I am inclined to agree with Sir Alex because from a long distance, I can see how this would be hard to spot. So these are the kits from a distance, and to be fair, the white does stand out so much more. Imagine a crowd behind that, all the fans, how the colours would mix in. But either way, after the 45 minutes of football, this kit was never used again. And to be fair, judging by the looks alone, it's probably for the best. So this next product is the La Liga football, and when I say La Liga football, it was the Liga football for one game. Fans complained about it, players complained about it, they didn't like it. Let's test it out, see if these complaints ring true. This Puma winter ball was used for just one game in La Liga, and fans and players complained that it was difficult to see. And after that game, it was never used again. So first off, I'm going to test the fans' complaint. They say this ball is hard to see on camera when it's on the pitch, far harder than a normal football, so let's run some tests. So I've put some side-by-side footage together so you can see the difference, and already the white football shows up far better. Mate, you're right, that doesn't show up much, does it? When juggling the ball, once again, the white football is just far easier to see on camera. And dribbling with the ball here is probably the most obvious comparison, just far easier to see. Players also complained that at night it was difficult to see under the floodlights, so here's a comparison of that. Not much difference on this one, but it is hard to replicate the light in the stadium at night. And finally, I got the drone up in the air to replicate what stadiums would see or what you might see watching it on TV. And this is the La Liga ball, and as you can see, it's quite difficult to see. Especially when you compare it to the white ball, it is so much more difficult to spot. And finally, this is the two balls side by side, and I've got 100% agree with the complaints on this one. It is really difficult to see this ball. So this next product is probably the most complained about football of all time. It's the Jabulani. I've done a video on this before, but basically, goalkeepers hated it. So as I said, I've made a full video on this ball before, but I couldn't make this video without mentioning the Jabulani. If you want to watch the full video, I'll leave a link in the description, but basically, the complaints about this ball are definitely true. These just look like a normal pair of football boots, right? Well, apparently, there's something wrong with the collar, because players keep cutting it. Players such as Ibrahimovic have been cutting the collar on the Adidas X boots, and it seems to have become a bit of a trend lately. Let's see if I can figure out why. Right, so I'm gonna have a little mess around with the football with the X's on, then I'm gonna cut the collar and see if I can feel any difference. Alright, that was just a little mess around, just normally, and to be fair, I feel really good. So Seems a bit of a waste to cut the collar on these now, but there we go. Honestly, feels no different to me. I do not see the point in this whatsoever. So the next product we're going to be taking a look at is the Messi 16.1. And Messi didn't publicly complain about these, that's just not his style, but he did make it pretty clear he wasn't their biggest fan. So this is Messi's flagship model, and he was the face of this boot. But for some reason, when it came to the pitch, he didn't wear these, he wore the cheaper takedown model. So these are the boots that Messi's supposed to wear. And so far, I've put them on, they feel really comfortable. There doesn't feel like there's anything wrong with this lace cover here. They feel really good, so we'll test them out a bit and see if we can find out what he doesn't like about them. I do really like these boots, really comfortable. I can't see anything wrong with them, to be fair. So after testing the 16.1s out for a bit, I can't really see any reason why Messi wouldn't want to wear them. I guess it's just down to his personal preference and he prefers a more traditional laced boot. But if this is the case, I don't see why Adidas don't make the boot that Messi actually wants to wear their top model. I mean, if it's good enough for Messi, surely it's good enough for us. Now this one is a bit of a strange one. It's the Adidas Predator goalkeeper gloves. And it's not really a public complaint, but goalkeepers just aren't wearing them. So these are the top model Predator gloves by Adidas, but keepers like Neuer aren't wearing these. They're wearing a custom pair that aren't available to the general public that has wrist straps on it. So it's clear that Adidas's new all-in-one design is not what the top keepers actually want to wear. So personally, I really like these gloves, but the majority of top keepers prefer the ones with the wrist straps. So as I'm not a keeper, I'm happy to admit I'm wrong on this one. This is the 2011-2012 season Barcelona shirt, and it looks just like any other Barca shirt, right? Well, here's the thing, all the Barcelona players complain that this kit more than doubled in weight just by half time and made it really hard to play in, so let's see if that's true, but so far, it does just seem like a normal Barca kit. It doesn't feel particularly heavy so far, so yeah, let's find out. So this is the 2011-2012 Barcelona shirt that pretty much all the players complain about, saying that when you sweat through playing football for 45 minutes, it more than doubled in weight, and players would even weigh their tops at half time to see how heavy they'd got. So let's see if there's any truth behind this. So to measure this claim, I've got 2 cups of water, and the average amount of sweat after 45 minutes of football or exercise is around 650-700 millilitres. Now, some of that will evaporate, so I've put this to 350 millilitres, and I feel like that's a fair representation of sweat after a solid 45 minutes of exercise. So first up, I'm going to weigh these tops with no water in them. Here we go. The Barcelona 2011 shirt, 203 grams. So now the new modern shirt, 176. So already it's got quite a bit lighter. Now we put the water on, it should more than double in weight if the claims are true. So we'll get this everywhere. The 2011 shirt. I'm sure this soaks in all the water. Now we'll leave these shirts for 5 minutes and then weigh them again. Let's see how much this now weighs. That weighs 372 grams, the 2011 shirt. That weighs 410 grams. So in all fairness, this top has more than doubled in weight, but so did this top as well. So after that test, I suppose the claims are half true. It did double in weight, but so did the other shirt. So I ran the test again, but this time with a PSG shirt. 175 grams. Get the water on it. 374. So once again, all the kits seem to double in weight. So the PSG shirt also doubled in weight. I think the claims that this shirt is heavier, true. It is more than 25 grams heavier than the other kits, but it definitely doesn't seem to hold any more water or sweat than the other shirts. So I'd say this claim is half true. So Neymar has one of the most lucrative brand deals in the world with Nike. But when you're refusing to wear the boot you're literally getting paid tens of millions of pounds to wear, there's got to be something wrong with it, surely. So Neymar was the face of the Hypervenom and was on all the promotional activity. But after a bad spell of games, it was clear he didn't like them. Instead of giving Neymar a pair of boots he did like, in order to keep up with the promotional activity of the Hypervenom 2, Nike disguised a Vapor to look like a Hypervenom 2. So that way Neymar could wear a pair of football boots he actually does like, and Nike can promote the Hypervenom. Right, so these are the Nike Hypervenom 2s, and I've had these for a long time, and I've never really liked them. I think they just don't feel very nice. Something about them just doesn't feel right. I've tested these Hypervenom 2s out for a bit, and I can say, I do see where Neymar's coming from. I know he's getting paid tens of millions to wear them. He's the face of it. But realistically, if you're playing in front of thousands of fans and you're expected to perform every week, you kind of do want to be comfortable in your football boots. So these are my thoughts on all the products the footballers have complained about. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.